Joining me to discuss Texas Republican Congressman on the House Oversight Committee, Pat Fallon. Congressman Fallon, what do we know about this second whistleblower, and what do the facts of the case as we know them, what does it say to you about two people coming forward and risking their careers?
Well, Kennedy, they both are highly credible. And it's very troubling, and it's chilling, quite frankly, to see the DOJ, the FBI, and the IRS basically holding the the criminal Biden family's water. Mm-hmm. And I'm furious about it, and my colleague Nancy Mace is right. If there are any whistleblowers out there, whether they work for DOJ, IRS, FBI, or any other alphabet that the federal government has, come to the Oversight Committee, and we just want to get to the truth. And all we've been doing the last several months is going where the evidence leads us.
Do you feel like the U.S. attorney who's in charge of this investigation is compromised?
Well, it certainly appears that way. I mean, you had 12 IRS agents, on the investigative team for financial and international crimes, and they were all removed magically after the IRS supervisor came to Congress on April 19th. And now this particular second whistleblower, mm-hmm. and they weren't even told about it. They weren't directly, their supervisors didn't come and say, hey, we're removing you for X, Y, or Z reason. They just said, you're off the case. Now, why? Why? After, and particularly this fella had been working for 4 years on this case. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 5, because he started in 2018, and that is how our system is supposed to be set up. People are given legal protection to come forward and tell us whether or not there's corruption in the agencies and bureaus where they work. We know that that is endemic in the system. That doesn't make it right, but people should be protected. And that's oftentimes how we learn about things, because the press also tends to carry water for this administration, so mm-hmm. it's really hard to glean the truth. So what can be done now? I mean, obviously, as a congressional committee, you can't restart the investigation, but what can you do?
Well, we can ask the director of the IRS to come in and testify under oath in Congress, because he just did that a few weeks ago, and he's promised that there would be no retaliation against any whistleblower coming out of his department or agency. And that clearly didn't happen because he didn't protect them, because there has been retaliation. So we do have the purse strings. It's the one thing that the House really does. That's our ace in the hole. And you want to talk about budgets, and you want to talk about defunding. I mean, this is something that we might have to really seriously discuss moving forward.
Yeah, and those 87,000 potential new IRS agents, they're obviously not going to go after privileged and connected people like Hunter Biden. They're coming after middle-class income earners who are just doing their best to provide for their families, but they're fish in a barrel. So that's where the resources will be trained from the IRS. So I hope at some point there are enough people who are fed up with this, because this is the kind of stuff, if memory serves, that the former president was impeached for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kennedy, you know what? I don't want 87,000 new IRS agents. I want 87,000 new Border Patrol agents, maybe. And what they're going to do is come after middle-class, small business owners. And when you get audited, even if it's perfect, it still costs you tens of thousands of dollars mm-hmm. to defend yourself against the IRS. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I want 87,000 cuts to the federal expenditure because we're spending way too much money. Congressman Fallon, thanks so much for your time.
Amen. Thanks, Kennedy. God bless.
You too.